a set of rows and columns. So while you are entering the data, a column value should not be which one? Not null. I mean the data should be stored in the table. I mean in that column should have the which one? Data. Similarly, the next one is the which one? Check. I will explain, just wait. The next one is the unique. Next one is primary key. Next one is foreign key and exclusion. Right? If you take the not null means if you want to store the data in the table, that column should not have the which one? Null value. I mean some data should be stored. So therefore at column level you can define which one? Constraint. Dear students, you remember one more point also. As per Postgres constraints, we can define on the column level or on the which one? Table also. Table level also we can define the rules. Please. So this is the statement here you are seeing that. So we are creating the table name with what is the table name? Customer, and customer ID. It is defined as a which one? Primary key. I will tell you, just wait. And which is nothing but not null. Customer name is also not null. So customer address is not defined with the which one? Not null. Customer age is defined as a not null. So customer salary is real but not null. So I mean while you are storing the data into the table, you can ignore customer address value and also customer salary values also. I mean you can leave it empty. But in the case of customer name or in the customer age or customer ID, you should enter the data. That is the use of the which one? Not null constraint. The next one, check constraint. So check constraint is nothing but it is also very much useful to us. Here you are seeing that check if your salary, I mean while you are entering some employee salary, that salary should be greater than which one? 0. I mean while you are entering the salary, if you put the 0 in that data place or in that column, that data will not be accepted by the system. Postgres will not accept it, because what is the constraint you have defined here? Customer salary, it should be greater than 0, right? So that is why the user is restricted actually for not storing the less than or is equals to 0 salary. Okay na? That is nothing but, or that is the use of the which constraint? Check constraint. The next one, unique constraint. So unique is nothing but, here you are seeing that, so that is nothing but to maintain the individuality values. I mean we are storing the values in the database table. A student register number should not be repeated multiple times, or an employee ID also cannot be repeated multiple times, or a customer ID also cannot be repeated multiple times. The student register number is unique, or the customer ID is unique, or the employee ID is also unique. So therefore if you want to keep a column value as a which one? Unique. If you want to store one more time, I mean duplicate data, it will restrict that data or it cannot accept that data. That is the main use of the which one? Unique constraint. The next one. Now primary key. So primary key is also doing the same. It cannot accept the duplicate values. It can also accept the unique values. But at the same time you can get a doubt. Then what is the difference between a primary key constraint and unique key constraint? Okay na? A primary key constraint and unique key constraint. Please, this is the most important Viva question in the CRT's placement Vivas. Right, here you can see primary key is similar to which one? Unique key, but the difference between them is how many primary keys we can define in the table? Only one primary key. But how many unique keys you can define? More number of unique constraints we can define, and also not null constraints. I hope you understand or not. So that is nothing but, once again I want to tell you, as per the unique key, unique constraint can define for multiple columns, but primary key can define for only one column. Hope you are following this concept, okay na? The next one, and one more use also there by using the primary key. If you want to make a relation between one table to another table, for example, employee 1 table is there, employee 2 table is there. To make a relationship between the which one, from first table to second table, at that time the primary key is required. So I can give some more clearance in the next constraint, that is nothing but foreign key constraint. Foreign key constraint. You can see here also we have taken the employee 1 table, and the table employee ID is defined as a which one? Primary key. Is defined as a which one? Primary key. And here you are seeing that customer table is there. In the customer table also, one column you are seeing this employee ID, that is also integer data type, and it is also defined as a which one? Primary key. You are seeing this primary key. Here also you are seeing this in the employee 1 also, employee ID as a which one? Primary key. So to make a relationship between employee 1 table to customer table, employee 1 table to customer table. So both the tables are having the which one? Primary keys, and at the same time you identify here employee ID, here also employee ID. Both should be primary keys and both column names also should be the same. Then in the point of or in the view of employee 1, so here the employee ID of the customer becomes the which one? Foreign key. Please remember one more time I want to tell you. Employee 1 is having the primary key. So according to employee 1, so the customer employee ID becomes the foreign key. Otherwise that same column name should be defined in the customer table. Then easily we can create a relationship between employee table to customer table, and also we can do the different types of operations like join operations. There are different types of joins are available in the PostgreSQL. So we can discuss those type of joins in one more session, but here that is the main use. So of the which one? The primary keys and foreign keys. Okay. The next one, exclusion constraint. Exclusion constraint. So that is nothing but, actually here we can define the exclusion with the help of which one? GIST. We can define by using the which one? GIST. Here the main use of the exclusion constraint is, so for not storing duplicate data into the system, by defining some constraints. Here you are seeing this as per this example, GIST, that is defined as a employee name with is equals to employee A's with not equals to. Okay. So as per this one, here inserting the data with 101 comma John comma New York something, right? So the second one is 102 comma John comma Florida comma 22 something. In the third one also the employee ID is which one? So 103 John New York. Okay na? So here the employee